Peace, and welcome to an unusual video. I was contemplating on making this one, to be frank, even though I ain't frank, I'm me, lol. But this was such a good video, plus I wanted to try something else, for a change. YouTube being YouTube, recommended me Moist Critical's reaction to Dark Secrets of Anime Exposed, originally made by a channel under the name of Little Light Studios. Okay. The video he watched was a re-upload, with comments turned off. Back to the OG. Apparently it was part of a 4-part documentary, which seems like they put a stop to due to some anime fans having their opinions tsunamiing their comment section, and that's for the better since any more of what they'll be saying won't end so well for all sides of the table. Calm the storm before it approaches. I watched that reaction and he seemed to A, not know his Bible stuff, which is hysterical.
All the adult-themed relationships, there are a ton of
Hey, you killed it, Keith. Thessalonians, it gets nuts. Nice, Keith. Well, if John says it, it's probably right. Wait, what? Wait, philosophy is bad? Hey, stop thinking. Okay, thank you. Colossians. Is this a real Bible quote? Man, Colossians seems like a giant fucking simp. All of his little excerpts here are just like, hey, stop thinking, let God do it for you. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Don't let any... Man, this guy fucking hated thinking. Don't let anyone capture you with philosophy and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from the spiritual powers of this world rather than Christ. God damn. Man, he fucking hates philosophy. Be careful that no one takes you through philosophy and deceit. Good God. He hates it. This guy's very upset.
The story centers around a young alien.
Did they even read the Bible? What? Since when does the Bible talk about dragons? He was just a serpent. That's just your interpretation of it. Unless I'm misremembering. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. In the Old Testament, dragons are discussed 21 times in King James Version. Well, so I guess there are dragons in the Old Testament and LeBron James, it sounds like. I was not well read on the Bible, I guess. All those Sunday school days did not pay off. Okay, well, I guess, hey, I guess they're onto something.
And B, he wasn't even bothered in the slightest, making a joke out of the video.
Sounds like he's a little insecure that a witch might be more powerful than him.
Let's
go!
Is Dragon Ball Z.
I knew Super Eye Patch Wolf was a demon. Anti-Christian.
This is rated Y7 for kids?
Goddamn right it is. Did you even watch it? It's just about, like, strong dudes fighting dudes.
I, on the other hand, will respond to selected points that I find alarming and either add my spin to them, refute them using basic and simple logic and reasoning, agree to them, or a mix of each. If there are any points, however, that I did not include, remember I said selected. Take it as me being undecided or no need to comment on. Oh boy, this is the first one here, so here goes nothing. Also, in case no one saw the original video, which you should have to better understand context, they reference biblical verses. So, to steelman their arguments, you could say, I'm going to display this verse when I reference biblical verses as response. Anyway, let's not delay the inevitable and start.
Hello, I'm Scotty.
And I'm Mikey.
And we're some of the producers of this anime documentary, and we wanted to share with you a warning with this project.
Yeah, over the years, this is the most recommended topic we've got. Everybody wants us to expose anime, so we started doing some digging, and man, this stuff is dark.
Not all of it is dark. There's wholesome anime too, but let's just generalize cause Jesus.
So if you don't really have a problem or you've never been exposed to anime, this might be a project that you should prayerfully consider whether or not you should or should not watch it. But if you know somebody that's really into this topic, then please share our video with them, as we feel like this is a very important topic to explore.
Top 10 last words before getting game ended live on Twitch, am I right? God, I'm cringy. Okay. Love the need to use loud dramatic music to attempt to solidify the evil within this heathenistic genre of entertainment. Yeah, kinda speaks for itself. Is it just make-believe? Or is there something they want to make you believe? Well, actually, I'm gonna leave that last. Trust me on this one. You'll understand why. Open your eyes. My eyes are open. How do you think I'm seeing all this? Oh, these guys are funny.
Is that anime in the kids section?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Bruh! That change in quality, dog! We went from movie trailer levels of shock and drama to bootleg cartoon territory. I'm sorry, but I couldn't let that slide, honestly. Stay consistent! You were doing so well!
It's crazy how fast anime gained popularity in the US.
Thank trade for once, will ya? Ever since the world became so small, media consumption, including everything else really, has become so widespread to the point of being able to send a message from one side to its opposite within segundos, mi bueno gente. Skipping this portion, cause like, unless you want this to be 1 billion days long, I'm gonna give YouTube some slack when encoding this video by not overblowing their drives with this vid lol. So they're interviewing random anime fans and asking about their experiences. Here's my cup of hot choco. I do agree that some of what they say regarding their upbringing to anime at such a young age, if true, shouldn't have been a thing. And the reason I say if true is because some of them might lie just to look like they're overhyping super fans and stans and whatnot. You see them on Twitter a lot, but anyway. You could blame this being allowed to occur under numerous reasons such as parental negligence, mistaking anime for girl cartoons, trying to act like an adult by doing adult things, etc, etc. You know, I could go for the harm principle, whereby I argue a case for them by saying, well, if they aren't grabbing the nearest Yamato, impaling themselves with it in hopes of ridding their puny human side and unleashing their alpha omega demon side, then we're all fine and dandy. Besides, they are babies, they have a brain and compute good and bad, they should be able to handle that within themselves, no problema, whilst learning independence and responsibility to go into it and thus become independent and sane adults like us, right? Right? But I won't, since media does tend to indirectly teach people wrong. It's at the point of ignorance I mentioned earlier that resulted in these negative and bad sides to emerge. Furthermore, if they were watching this alone, without parents knowing, especially examples of people whose parents are up there in terms of strict that they fear their wrath, then that too escalates this issue. Kids and teens should watch the anime with their parents, and to any parents out there, please go easy on your children. Don't be grabbing that belt or them flippers, aiming no scope on your child's head and scoring a headshot. It wasn't their fault they had to witness such travesty unfold before their very eyes. How are they supposed to know? Eat asked, if such a scene were to appear, turn off the TV, pause the stream, change the channel, and have a calm and cool talk about what just happened. Say something along the lines of, it's okay, I'm here. If you see stuff like this happen again, just do what we did just now and change to something else or skip it. Besides, if you see something like this in real life, then distract your eyes from it or try to correct that wrong if you are able to without doing harm and wrong in the process. If you see anyone in that same position, help them like I helped you and advise others to learn and stay away. There, see? Something positive for a change. Parental guidance is best guidance, second to God's guidance, of course. Forgetting these uncomfortable scenes, each anime does have a major moral story, like friendship is a blessing to have, achieving higher and aiming for the top is great build-up for you, seeking justice and peace is the way forward to a utopia, cherishing the ones you love and keeping them safe, family is also important. These kinds of morals. Hence, that generalization made in the beginning is unwarranted, really. And if you're so gung-ho about anime, why not give manga a try? It's reading, and reading is good for language. And it also benefits the power scaling community since they use manga stuff more so than anime, so you'll be doing them a favor. Oh yeah, you could censor parts out yourself because, kinda unlike anime, at least you get to see it first before your child, preparing necessary precautions and measures to be taken. Okay, I spake too much, let's move on.
At one point, Sailor Moon cries out to Saturn, which is completely pagan, and in some ancient writings is a reference to Satan. The character Tuxedo Mask blasphemously calls Sailor Moon the Messiah.
The Messiah.
So their issue is that it's blasphemous, as if anime was intentionally targeting them. Look, there are references to basically about every religion, culture, people, history, etc. made. You guys realize that too later onwards. Yet it is nowhere near accurate to the point of labeling it as blasphemous. It isn't trying to paint an evil, demonic scheme that brainwashes people. It's just telling a narrative from its own imagination. From the imagination of the writers. That's all there was, is, and will be to it. So no need to force real-life religion into the mix.
Yes, a lot of old anime are as well, but it just, yeah. I think that older anime were very targeted towards adults, and now they're trying to target more towards children too, so, yeah.
So how old were you when you...
Okay. Pause. Let me go a bit off topic here. this guy, and the other one's cool too and all, but this freaking guy on the left. I don't know if I should be like them by questioning their intentions, their stances, their life choices, or if I should be me by admiring the effort and links put into them shoulders. But I mean, cosplay comes off weird since the character they're trying to cosplay as is a bit more taller, plus he's literally a skeleton wearing a robe. Now we can unpause.
Here in the United States, pedophilia is a big no, and it's a super sensitive topic.
No need to rehash what I said earlier, but what I will add is that Japan does have this weird thing of having a young age of consent. So they consider adults younger than US on average, kind of like the UK, but not really. Besides, it's really ironic that these Christians, if they're recalling Bible stuff and believe in it, then it's fair to assume they're Christian, are here critiquing the nudity and sexual immorality these anime shows portray, yet I would have loved to see what they had to say about these verses right here. I won't actually show text due to the nature of the verses, even though I put that word in the beginning of the video, but moving on. As for the apparent satanic symbolism, well, again, imagination and or coincidence. If a demon did really spawn from any of those scenes we see in the anime, then I'd understand and take my words back. Yet I and the majority of the anime community haven't heard of anything in that department. Even though, funny enough, there is a special community that is a bit iffy, if you feel me. We'll be talking about that later in the future. And bro, they be out here trying to lump DBZ into the symbolism. It's like this example. You know Wolverine from Marvel X-Men? Dude who has that resting angry voice, voiced by Steve Bloom most likely, with adamantium claws and stuff? Yeah, him. He has a word he likes to repeat, like Smurfs saying Smurf. It's bub.
Bub. The X-Men do bub. Bub. Okay, bub. Drop it, bub. Bub. Thanks for the lift, bub.
But oh heavens no, you won't believe what he is referring to when he repeatedly says bub. He's referring to Beelzebub, a demon the Bible talks about. Oh my trinity. Even before these guys actually believe that after I made that example. You see how, retarded that line of logic is? I've seen more believable insert thing here is Illuminati confirmed videos than this. Come on, man. Seriously, some of these hardcore people would make it seem like just drawing a simple triangle is a sign that you are satanic. Really makes you feel tied up. Break this heavy chain that does freeze my bones around. Am I right or am I right?
Allow me to introduce the greatest woman in the world, my wife Fidel. And this is her dad and infamous father-in-law, Mr. Satan. And this cutie patootie is our daughter. Say hi, Pan.
Pan is the Greek god where we get our modern depiction of what the devil supposedly looks like. You know, with horns and goat feet, and he causes panic.
They're not even hiding whose side Goku is on. Goku's team is called the Dragon Team.
The Dragon Team? Cite me from the anime or manga anywhere where they were referred to as the Dragon Team. I know that they were called the Z Warriors, the Z Fighters, the DB Gang, the Infestation, but the Dragon Team, actually, let me look that up. But it was the OG Dragon Ball though. Oh well. Also, if Mr. Satan is irking you that much, thank localization for calling him Hercule, even though you also won't take kindly to that either, I assume. Also, apologize to all the Videls around the world, cause Videl is a real name, originating from Spanish's vida, meaning life. And about that car, 1,
I don't believe in superstitions.
And 2, Akira Toriyama, the father of DB, does tend to like making these jokes either way, so yeah. And yes, I've come to realize it myself. Don't need to try to force it on me, alright? I have that epiphany, alright, so just calm down.
The story centers around a young alien named Son Goku, who was sent down to Earth as a baby. In the Dragon Ball anime, they are 3 supreme beings called the Super Saiyan Gods from Universe 7 that send the baby Goku down to Earth to destroy it.
Isn't that kind of like the story of God sending Jesus down to Earth?
Yeah, pretty similar, but the twist is instead of being sent to Earth to save it, he's sent to destroy it.
People out here be comparing Goku to Jesus now. Can see that inspiring stuff. Plus guys, come on, don't put that cartoon of our sacred prophet, peace be upon him. Don't disrespect and desecrate him like that. It's amongst the greatest of sins of blasphemy to do so. So fear God if you truly are God-fearing.
According to ScreenRant.com, many...
Screen Rant? Really? Really? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done, man. Fam, I can't be asked. Seriously, bro, I can't be asked. Now, as a form of conclusion, this last argument should really annihilate their entire video. Well, you could have done that since the beginning. Sorry, but prefer to keep the best for last. So what's this ultimate argument I have that essentially makes them rethink their positions in life? It's easy. Anime is fiction. Full stop. Or period if you're American. None of what we see in anime happens in real life. It's fantasy. None of it should be taken as fact. It's just a bunch of digitized ink or a bunch of moving pixels on a screen. It shouldn't harm anyone. Well, yes, as we discussed before, lewd imagery is a no-go, especially for a younger audience, due to how it entices and induces lewd thoughts, which is one amongst many means to sexual immorality. And yes, too much violence isn't healthy for an individual to witness constantly, yet yes, it is just audio and video on a screen. Although censorship may aid in simmering the flames down, it defeats the purpose of the material and audience being addressed, shown to. Besides, who says you're forced to watch any of it? Just change the channel or turn off the TV and go out in the open and have some fun for a change. If you're part of those weird moms who are worried their children will transform into yellow-haired delinquents, then monitor their activity, whilst avoiding being harsh and unrealistic about it. That's what parents do. And countless times have these shows emphasized that any perceived references to real-life people, places, events, and knowledge is just plain old coincidence. And if they're not, then it's the writer's interpretations or change the fiction. Just because a bunch of symbols on foreheads scare the bejesus out of you and them doing magic and crazy stuff bothers you doesn't mean that they're asking the audience to try and attempt any of it. And if they did, except violence and loot stuff, it's a bunch of baloney anyway, and nothing will happen other than them looking absolutely stupid for believing fantasy is real. If all that wasn't enough, don't forget the origin of anime. It's Japanese. Japanese culture is different to the West, and different to ours as well. Duh. There will be conflictions and contradictions when both meet and mix. This is how Japanese artists handle their stories, their media, their professions, their art. Like it? Then take it with a thank you and a bit of support. Hate it? Then leave it without going to length through tying up non sequiturs, red herrings, and straw men to them. Simple. It ain't that hard. You could have made a direct argument saying that binging anime is waste of precious time and people should focus on scheduling and keeping up maintenance of time, leaving room for work, other hobbies, doing good in the world, spreading love and peace, something these anime do portray at the end of it all, by the way, and remembering their creator. Except you didn't, and opted for ludicrousy. Like we say in Arabic, ma swat alaykum. It wasn't worth it. All you got at the end was ridicule and your community getting their reputation slightly sinking. I do hope you learn from this and change your perspectives a bit, whilst finally understanding why people don't involve religion into the mix due to ignorance of the entire picture. I mean, these guys do other content of which I won't binge any, since it'll make me look like a hypocrite after saying that binging anime was bad, plus I ain't Christian, so I'll find their content to be not my type, to put it respectfully. If you have a problem with me believing what I believe, then I'll leave a little something in the description, which I initially didn't want to do it on this channel, but here we are anyway. And we could discuss our differences in peace, hopefully. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, just take it easy and stay safe. This materialistic, transient, and imperfect world ain't worth selling your afterlife to, honestly. So live in morally, lawfully, legally, with good intentions and a right mind. And as always, see you in the next video. Peace!